Hello everyone. Today we are going to see about memory management. First of all, we need to know about memory allocation. Memory allocation, which means when a process is created, the memory manager allocates the memory addresses to it by mapping the process address space. Threads of process share the memory space of the process. Now we are going to see about memory management after initial allocation. Memory is the important resource. There is a constant interaction and communication between the processor. If we are having processor and controller, we need to know about the memory management. As a hardware designer, we have to specify what memory we need to give for a processor or controller. Semiconductor memory is a primary memory. Hard disk is the secondary memory. All programs run with the data code and in the RAM. First, now we are going to see about the memory manager of the OS that can be secure, reboost, and well protected. Okay, well protected. There must be a control such that there are no memory leaks, stack overflows. Stack overflow means that the stack exceeds the allocated memory block when there is no provision for the addition stack space. The memory manager manages the following task. First one is use of memory addresses space by the process. Second one is specific mechanisms to share the memory space. Third one is specific mechanisms to restrict sharing of given memory space. Fourth one is optimization of the access and manages it with the appropriate protection. Memory can be allocated in two ways. First one is static memory allocation and second one is dynamic memory allocation. The manager optimizes the memory needs and memory utilization. Most important memory strategy and their functions as follows. Now we are going to see about the most important memory strategies. First one is fixed block allocation, which means memory address space is divided into blocks with the process having a small address space getting a lesser number of blocks and processes with the big address spaces getting a large number of blocks. Second one is dynamic blocks allocation. Here memory address space is divided into fixed block and then later the memory manager allocates variable size blocks dynamically allocated from a free list of and fourth one is dynamic data memory, dynamic address reallocation, and multiprocessor memory allocation, and memory protects to OS functions, and memory protection among the docs, which means it means the task of the function function call can attempt to write or read in inclusive area of memory space allocated to another task. The protection increases the memory requirement for each task and also execution time of the code of the task. And now we are going to see about virtual memory. Virtual memory is a concept by which application is made by belief that it has much more memory than in physically available. Enlarged address space, which is also virtual address. First one is cache, primary memory, secondary memory. And now the allocation of memory to program is a sequence of instruction. Program is a sequence of instruction used to execute a specific task. Based on the task, the program size and length is varied. Program has many elements within the body, so how the memory has to be allocated for that element is an important task. First one is the software design approach is to use data sets and data structures in the program. Data structures contains for following data structure, important data structures, which means stack, array, queue, list, table. It is more important for the system software designer to understand the following details. Here we already know about the data structures: stack, array, queue, and list, and table. notes in the table, our teacher or staff will be take the last submitted note at first, which means last in first out. Okay, here the stack is special program element. A stack means an allocated memory block from which a data element is always read in LIFO. LIFO means last in first out way by processor. Various stack structures may be created during the processing. Okay, stack is a special data at the memory. It has a pointer address that always to the top of the stack. The pointer is called as a stack. Each processor has at least one stack pointer so that the instruction stack can be pointed and calling of the routine can be facilitated. Okay, next one we have to see about array. Array is an important programming element and it has fixed amount of memory location during its declaration. Array has two pointer. One is used to indicate the starting point and another one is used to indicate the ending point. It is a linear data structures. Okay, here types of array: one dimensional array, two dimensional array, multi-dimensional array. Three kinds of arrays used in the program structure. One dimensional is a special data structure at the memory. It has a pointer address that always points to the first element of the array. Also, which the processor can access one of an array. Index is an integer that starts from 0 and data word can be retrieved from any element address in the block that is allocated to the array. A processor register may also used for storing the index and another register for array base pointer. Okay. Next we need to see about queue. Queue is another important programming element. A queue means an allocated memory block from which data element is always retrieved in FIFO. FIFO means first in first out mode. Using queue, the bytes are sent on a network or to a file or to a pointer. Okay. Queue is two pointer. Queue has two pointers. One is for pointing an address in a memory block where an element can be inserted and other pointer is for pointing to the address in the memory block from where an element can be deleted. Okay, this pointer should increment on each deletion. Both pointers are point the starting memory address at the block at the beginning stage. Insertion into the queue are faster than deletions. Next one is circular queue. Circular queue is a queue in which both pointers cannot increment beyond the memory block and reset to the starting value of insertion beyond the boundary. From circular queue, also the data element is always retrieved in FIFO mode, which means first in first out mode. No exception is thrown on queue called as pipe when the source from where the insertions are made has an identity distinct from a destination entity where deletions are made. A pipe means a common memory block allotted for a queue to two distinct entities that are interconnected in some way. Okay. Table. Table has two-dimensional array and it is an important data set that is allocated memory block. It has three pointers: table base, column index and destination index, which means table base, column index and destination index. Pointers can retrieve any element of the table. First one is here. So special element is hash table. Hash table is a data set that is a collection of pairs of a key and a corresponding value. A hash table has a key or name in one column. The corresponding value of object is at the same column. And now we are going to see about timer and counting device. Most of the embedded systems and need timing and counting device. Timers and counters are distinguished with the registers to hold the current value with an increment input that adds one value to the current register value. Now we are going to see about time device. Counter and timer is used for many count based measurement solutions. First used for frequency measurement, second one is used for edge or event counting, third one is used for pulse or width measurement, fourth one is used in event time samples. Now we are going to see about timing device. Timing device. The timer device is a device that counts the regular interval, that means sigma t clocks pulses at its input. The counts are stored and incremented on each pulse. It has output bits for the periods of counts. The counts multiplied by the interval sigma t gives the time, which means the x sigma t intervals gives the time interval between two instants when the present count bits are read and the initial counts are read, has input pin for resetting to make all count bits is equal to 0. It has two output pin for output when all count bits equal to 0 after reaching the maximum value, that is timeout on the overflow. Hardware for timing device. Now we have to see about uses of a time device. Timing devices are needed for number of users in system, and real-time clock is a set of ticks using prescaling bits and rate sets bits in appropriate control registers. Initiating an event after a preset delay time. Delay is as per count value loaded. Initializing an event after comparison between preset time with the counted value. Preset time is loaded in the compare register. Okay. Watchdog timer is used to reset the system after the defined time. Okay. Next one is the state of, for example, 80851 timer register TMD and TCON. In timer count register, a number is loaded and then the timer is started. Count keeps increasing until it reaches the maximum value. Counting device or counter. We have a state in timer. We need to see about the state in timer, which means there is a 11 states are available in a timer. First one is reset state, which means initial count is 0, and initial load state, which means initial count is loaded. Then present state, counting or idle, or before start or after overflow or overrun. Overflow state, count received to make count equal to 0 after reaching the maximum count. And over sixth one is running or a stop state, which means active state or blocked state. And next seventh one is finished state, which means stopped after the preset time interval or timeout. And next one is reset enabled or disabled state. Next one is load enabled or disabled state. Next one is auto reload enabled or disabled state. Service routine execution enabled or disabled state. Types. Timer can be classified into following types, which is 10 types. Hardware internal timer, software timer, user software control hardware timer, RTOS control hardware timer, timer with periodic time out events, one shot timer, up count action timer, down count action timer, timers with its overflow status flag, timer with overflow flag. Next, we need to see about a counting device or counters. Counting device is used to count irregular interval clock pulses. Timing device means which means count the regular interval clock pulses. Our counting device means it means we used to count the irregular interval clock pulses. A counting device is a device that counts the input for event that may occur at irregular or regular intervals. The count gives the number of input events or pulses since it was last read. Blind counting synchronization. A counting device may be a free running device with a pre-scaler for the clock input pulses and for comparing the counts with the ones preloaded in a computer register. The pre-scaler can be programmed as P is equal to 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, which means multiples of even numbers. By programming a pre-scaler register, it divides the input pulses as per programmed value of P. It has an output pin for output when all count bits equal 0 after reaching the maximum value, which also means after timed out or overflow. This device is useful for the alarm or processor interrupts at presets instance or after preset intervals with respect another event from another source. Okay, and now timer cum counting device, which means a timer cum counting device is a counting device that has two functions, which means it counts the input due to the events at irregular instance and it counts the clock input pulses at regular intervals. Time timer cum counting devices. A timer cum counting devices is a counting device that has two functions. Clearly know. First one is it counts the input due to the events at irregular instance. Second one, it counts the clock input due to the clock input pulses at regular intervals. An input or status bit in the timing device register controls the mode as timer or counter. The count gives the number of inputs, events or pulses since it was last read. It has an output pin for output when all count bits equal to 0 when all counts equal to 0 after reaching the maximum value, which also mean timed out and overflow intervals. Today we have seen what is mean by memory management. Memory management is important resource, content, interaction and communication. In memory management we have seen what types of memories we need to choose by dynamic memory or static memory. And here virtual memory we have seen. In virtual memory we have discussed about data structures involved in virtual memory, which means stack, queue, list, table. In that particular subdivision we have seen the types of queue, types of table, types of stack and what is meant by stack and LIFO, FIFO, the way of making a stack or a queue. And next we have seen timing and counting devices. In timer we have seen about the types of timer, which kind of timing devices has been used for real-time applications, everything we have seen. And in timer devices, what is meant by timer device, which is used for a regular interval clock pulses. In otherwise, what is meant by counting device or counter. This topic we have seen about blind counting synchronization, and after that we have seen timer cum counting device, which means it has two functions. Which one is it counts the input due to the event at the irregular instructions, and it counts the clock input pulses at regular intervals. Hereafter we can see what is meant by watchdog timer and real-time clock. This is the I think this is the last before topic in our syllabus to cover to cover our first unit. Okay, thank you.